Yeah.
No gas in it.
This'll burn. Spritz it.
Give it to me for.
We'll alternate. You spritz it. I'll press. You step back. I'll press the button.
Step back is a key word.
I just want to see if we got spark. Ready?
Yeah.
Spray it.
All right.
Hey.
If you keep turning though, I see a little bit of smoke coming around your solenoids. You might still have some bad connections.
Oh, I'm sure I do. I always get confused on how to test the coil or how to test the ignition and stuff like that. What we can do is take a spark plug out and then ground the threads, and you'll be able to see the spark if you have it. You want to do that first?
You can, but if you there's a coil down there, so you should be getting juice from the coil to this wire. So you pull that wire off, you can arc it.
Is that on there good? There we go.
Take the coil wire here off and hold it to the metal when you turn the key, see if you get a spark.
I've got sandpaper laying around.
I got a wire blue. Alright, give it a shot. Nothing.
This looks alright.
What was it we did on the last vehicle we worked on? The 66 over there. You had to put new guts in the distributor.
Yeah, that looks like that kind of hazed over. You want to hand me some sandpaper?
Where is it? Is this it?
Mm-hmm. Found out that it's important to put the diverter button back up there.
So you're still just going to check ground on that?
Yeah, that way if it's our spark plug wires, this will still give us spark. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go in there and crank on it. Ready?
Yeah.
Anything?
No.
Okay guys, it's the next day, the next morning, and we're gonna see if we can make something happen. I bought a new coil in case I need it, and I also bought a new condenser, and I think I have points if I have to replace them. But I want to do a couple more diagnostic tests first, and I can tell everything's got juice because my 4-ways are on. I was thinking about it last night. I was wondering if this is my lead to my coil. So with the ignition on, I want to take my test light and see if I've got power going to the coil. That could be the issue, and I might be able to take my parts back and get my money back. Let's just see where I put my test light. Here it is. Looks like we got rear lights. That's good. Alright, so ignition should be on. Yeah, we aren't getting juice. To the coil. So I bet this is the coil wire. So what is, so this would be ignition on. So let me put that post there. This screw isn't really long enough to accommodate all these terminals. Wonder what I can do about that. Let me see what kind of screws I've got laying around in the shop and see if I can find something similar to it, just a little bit longer. Alrighty guys, so I found a few options I can try, and we'll see if these will thread in. So this one's a lot longer, but it looked like the closest to the same thread. Yeah, it is. Okay, so I've got us a screw. This is hard to do with gloves on. So am I missing any? Don't think so. Maybe should have put a washer on this thing. This makes me nervous, but whatever. I feel like this actually might be the coil wire. Yeah, this just goes up into the harness. That might be more gauge lights. Let me see what I can see. Any fires yet? We got windshield wipers on. So, as far as I'm concerned, oh wait, there we go. Something's got bad connection for that not to be working. I wonder if the headlights work. Looks like we got one. Let me try high beams. Alrighty, so I'm gonna assume that is the coil wire. So I got an assortment here of these little ring connectors. I like those better than, what do you call them, like the C-shaped connectors that'll slide on and off. So that's what I'm gonna put on all the ends that don't already have ring connectors. Alright, let's hook the battery up and see if we blow anything up. Oh, headlights are still on. Is there any way to turn off the... Oh, let's try the fan. Oh, we got nothing. Could be that black wire down there. Okay. Seems like the starter might be getting a better connection since I replaced that terminal, or the ring connector. Okay, test light. All right, we got ground. All right, we gotta grab this. Oh, we're getting a dim light. Why is it blinking? Something ain't right. I've got to think about this one. This one's got me stumped. Oh, did I forget one? Looks like I did. Alrighty, let me disconnect my battery and figure that out. Here we go. Okay. Oh yeah, I gotta connect this one. Oh wait, no, that was the wiper. I can't freaking remember. Okie dokie. Why is it blinking? I don't get it. My ignition was off, I guess. There we go. That's what we want. Alright, so we got turn signals. That's kind of cool. All right, I just sprayed some brake clean down the carburetor. I think we have ignition. Let's see what happens. Nothing's happening yet. Make sure everything's tight on here. Try not to arc anything. Alrighty. Still don't think we have spark. Let's try something. I wonder if I'm gonna be able to see that from inside. I wonder if that works. I have no idea. Okay. So we still don't have spark. What do y'all think? We ought to just go ahead and replace the coil. Okie dokie. This is a coil I don't trust. So let's start with the easier one to get to, the positive one. Put a lot washer on there. And the way you know that you're putting these on correctly is the wire that goes to the points to your distributor is your negative. There we go. Installed. Let's hope that's all it needs. We can pour some gas down the carburetor and get her to fire. Is this stuff combustible? Now we got us something to put some some gas down the carburetor with. Yeah, that's a lot. Alrighty. Alrighty guys, I have a sneaking suspicion that my point gap is set incorrectly. So I want to turn the motor over and get that distributor right on the lobe of the get the points riding on the lobe of that guess you call that a cam. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's a 15/16 size crank thing. Crank pulley bolt. At least it is on the V8s. Oh, well, I could have probably just used the fan, honestly. There we go. So what does that look like? Oh yeah, that gap is ridiculous. I think that is right on that lobe. Look at that point gap. That's like 3 or 4 business cards. Okay. I should have checked that when I know that somebody'd been in here messing with the points. So let's get that set correctly. Is that... that looks about right. Actually, did that close up on me a little bit? Usually you just go by like a business card or something like that. That could fix our issue. Don't forget the rotor button griff. What's up with that? Is that supposed to have that much play? Whatever. Jam that in there. Make sure that's tight. Let's give it another go. That might have done it. We'll see what happens. Alright guys, so my trick here is I want to ground out the coil wire like to something like maybe a fuel pump. That should be alright, and then maybe we'll see spark at the plug. And the real question is, can I see that while I'm cranking on it? Let me try to clamp this to something that's grounded. Am I hearing a little spark? Let me get my camera set up. Perfect. Okay, now I can see. All right, let me watch that. Oh, we do have spark. And then it went away. So what does that mean? We probably just got a bad connection on the battery, right? All right, it should try to do something. We got spark, and I tightened up my battery connection, so hopefully that'll do something. Jeez, is my battery dead? Great timing. What do y'all say? Should we throw that battery in there? See if it does something. I don't want to run it dry, but let's just see what a freshly charged battery does. Maybe it gives the ignition the juice it needs. Probably shouldn't be getting battery acid on my hands, but whatever. Let's see if this does something. Let's get some more gas down it. Yeah, boy. Oh yeah, she's gonna start. She needs some more gas though. Wonder what all that racket is. I haven't checked the firing order on this thing. Probably should. Since somebody was working on this, didn't really know what they were doing, setting the points like that. So the next step, I think, needs to be getting some gas to the carburetor. So what we can do, yeah, I know what we can do. Alrighty guys, so I got my my gas can ratchet strapped to the front grill, and then we're going to hook up the fuel pump inlet with some fuel hose I had laying around. We're going to just stick it in the gas. How much gas is in there? No, there's enough in there. We're just going to stick it in there like that, and then hopefully we can get some gas to the carburetor. We just keep squirting gas into the carburetor, let it run until it runs out of gas, and then that's the best way to get it primed without just cranking it over as long as it takes and wearing out the battery again. Those feel pretty solid. Alrighty, so here we go. Let me put some more gas in it. I can't remember if I did that or not. For some reason I feel like it's not firing on all 6. On the Galaxy, I had a little fuel filter. I could see that I was sucking gas. Don't have that on this. This is just straight line, so. We're just gonna keep doing that until hopefully the fuel pump works and it sucks in some gas. I wonder what that noise is. Have we got any gas happening? Yeah, we do. Okay. So hopefully once we get it to the pump, it'll have a better, because I hear fuel pumps are better at pushing gas than they are like sucking. So hopefully it should prime the carburetor pretty quickly now. Let me check the firing order. Something don't sound quite right. Alrighty, so I double checked the firing order and that seems to be correct, so let's just give it another go. Hey, is she idling? She might be wanting to idle. That starter is not happy. I feel like it's just starting to get a little bit of gas to the carburetor. That starter's eating it. Okay, y'all, so battery died on me. So I went inside and grabbed this boat battery we got for the boat over there. I remember fully charging this and then setting it on the shelf. It's my dad's battery, but I'm sure he won't mind me borrowing it. He's cool like that. Alrighty, so I started trying to take the carburetor off, but changed my mind. I don't think it had gotten primed yet. I was assuming I had a carburetor issue. And the reason I think that, the carburetor just wasn't primed yet, is because I took this hose off of here and just a little bit of gas dribbled out, so it hadn't had enough time to build up pressure. So I'm gonna actually lay this right here. I want to see if we have fuel pump, make sure the fuel pump works. If it does, I'll be able to see the gas running out of that line. So I'm gonna spray a little bit of gas down her, and I'm gonna hop inside and hit the switch. I know that battery's charged up. Do I just have a bad connection somewhere? Let me tighten up this. Can't hurt, right? For some reason this doesn't want to. There we go. It's like that nut is just a hair bigger than a half, or most half-sized nuts. Let's try that. Nothing. I think our wiring on our solenoid might be weird. I wonder if that fixed anything. Yeah, that fixed it. I wonder if my other battery was even dead. So this battery post right here, or whatever post this is, was getting really hot. That makes me think it's a bad connection. So I'm gonna put one of those new circle connectors on there. What do they call them? Ring connectors. Alrighty, so we went down to Napa and got a better solenoid here. Dad's over there putting some air in the tires. He pointed out. Got a little bit of loose play. I'm talking to the camera. So there's a bad bushing up under here. Right there. So I took some Bondo off over here and looks like some old dent damage. So I'm gonna have to put some fresh Bondo on here, I suppose. Get rid of some of the parts that are peeling and popping. But should be fine. It's just an old truck. There we go. Now we're rolling. Well, you know, let's just see if it runs. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves.
I don't think we can do that.
Alrighty, here goes nothing. Let's put this a little bit further away from the fire. Let me get the throttle going. Maybe it's got some gas. Let's squirt a little bit of gas in it again.
Alright.
You want to do it? Let me know when you're clear.
Go for it.
Let's try some. Yeah, because I took the fuel line off and it was there was gas in the line.
So what do you got the hammer for?
Just in case the needle and seat is sticking. Just needs a little vibration. I'll shoot it again. But I can definitely tell the cleaning up my connections and putting a new solenoid helped.
Okay.
It's spinning over quicker. It's got better connection.
Throwing a pint of gas in it didn't hurt me.
No. Do you see any fuel leaks up there? Any signs of fuel?
Let me set what I'm squirting. Alright.
Yeah. Carburetor's probably toast. Let's just do this a couple more times. There's a chance that the fresh gas in there will kind of loosen stuff up.
But you haven't gone into the carburetor at all yet, have you?
I haven't, no. You said all right?
Don't hit the gas and see what happens.
Hey, it's idling.
It's idling.
Listen to that.
Button it when you hit the gas. Yeah, there's a little puff of fire right there.
I think it's getting a little gas from the carburetor now.
You just ain't getting them. You just can't.
Look at how smooth that idles.
Yeah.
Except for that.
Huh? You just
The
got-
accelerator pump is garbage. Every time I give it gas, it tries to stall.
Yeah. So whatever feeds in there from the fuel pump just idling.
Well, daggone.
Good though.
It's got exhaust hooked up to it, so it's not so loud like the Galaxy was.
Just touch it.
Yeah,
see if you
that's
can
what I need to do.
cover it up.
You know what could be happening? Is that it's partially clogged, like the jets are partially clogged with old gas and it's slowly cleaning itself out. And so when I give it too much throttle, it's going too lean and it won't stay, it's not getting enough gas. but I think it's getting better each time.
Just let it idle. As long as it'll idle, see if it'll just float. Feed gas through it. It'll keep getting better. Right? Keep getting better. You won't quite keep getting better. Yeah, well.
So,
bad carburetor.
yeah, you pull the toggle switch to the door. That's ignition on. And then you press the button for the starter.
You already had the toggle switch on, right?
Well, yeah, the starter wouldn't be kicking on if the ignition was off. The way it's wired. There you go. Yeah. All right. Hold on. All right. I've seen what I've heard what I need to hear to know that it needs a carburetor rebuild.
Yep.
So we already know that you get some gas to it, it'll run good.
Oh yeah, idle smooth, so good.
So yeah, shouldn't be surprised it needs a carburetor rebuild.
No, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I'm thinking that's just one in the long list of things you're gonna need.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is get some good pictures of this carburetor so I make sure that I order the right part. This looks different than the one I just did on my truck.